When I visit a city for the first time, you're going to the weird places. I'm in Chicago for the first time. I have maybe 3 hours to myself because I'm here for a wedding. Let me show you the places I wanted to see. I've already been here for a day and I still have not made eye contact with the Sears Tower. But there's the John Hancock building, so let's celebrate that. This is one of the only alleys left in Chicago paved with wooden blocks. Really do just love municipal services. It's a train. I just made eye contact with the Sears Tower for the first time, and I thought it would look bigger, but that's because my reference point is like the 2004 Guinness World Record book, and I haven't really thought about it much since then. I think its antenna height is 1,729 feet. One World Trade Center in New York has a spire height of 1,776 feet. Very symbolic. Hilariously, the antenna height of the Sears Tower does not count towards its record because it's an antenna, not an architectural piece, but the spire height of the World Trade Center does count. What makes it even better is that there are antennas attached to the spire of the World Trade Center. It's just not one big antenna. They have an East Village here. We got one of those at home though. You know, well, yes. Chicago has highway on-ramp meters, which exist in a couple cities, but their usage is infrequent and irregular. And although I think traffic engineering is mostly a sham because they're the only engineers that are really allowed to be bad at their jobs in that way, I do love seeing niche applications of infrastructure. This is a geodesic salt dome. That shape is advantageous for salt storage. Whoever's in charge of painting the bike lanes in Chicago, like, keep doing what you're doing, babes. Two different colors going on here. You can see the first green in this intersection here that's already faded, and that's partially because traffic is running over it, but it's also just a different color. And then there's this. This is like slime green. This is a better example. These are fresh. It really is the little things for me, because why is this sign doing it for me? Yes, CTA, yes, design. This is what I was most excited for. We made it to the Dave Matthews Poop Bridge. Yes! 800 pounds of human shit onto an architectural tour boat. Let's go! Really obsessed with these old light boxes. One thing that I used to do for work is a little bit of fire engineering, which means I'm very into fire codes and how they came to be and safety standards and things like that. And one of the most important events in the development of those standards was the Iroquois Theater fire that happened in Chicago, where over 600 people died. I'll put a list of safety standards that came about either entirely or partially because of the Iroquois Theater fire. When people say regulations are written in blood, they're not kidding. There's this alley, West Couch Place, that runs behind the former location of the Iroquois Theater, and it has the nickname Death Alley because when this fire happened and over 600 people were killed, their bodies were piled up in this alley. Everyone say hi to Scabby. I didn't know we were gonna run into one of those here. Scabby gets put outside of projects or organizations that are doing something anti-union. In 1999, 300 fiberglass cows were placed around the city and it was really popular, so now they have a replica of them outside the Chicago Cultural Center. During the Great Chicago Fire, the Chicago Water Tower was the only public building to survive in the burn area, although ironically, its pumps stopped working because its roof caught on fire and collapsed. If you've ever watched Antique Roadshow, you probably know what a Lewis Comfort Tiffany lamp is, and the largest display of Tiffany glass is in the Chicago Cultural Center with a 38-foot diameter dome containing 30,000 pieces of Tiffany glass. In an unexpected side quest, I stopped by these fountains that are supposed to spit on people, and I didn't feel like waiting around to watch it. So then we went to the beginning of historic Route 66. Let's go. Literally, the road just starts here. That's Route 66. Libraries are the ultimate public space to me, and so on the 9th floor of the Harold Washington Library is the Winter Garden, which is a beautiful seating and study space. I also love that on the bridges that cross the waterways, there are not only a vehicular arm, but also a pedestrian arm. Those also exist in other places, but as someone who grew up in a more rural area, the railroad tracks definitely did not have a pedestrian version. This is probably as close as I'm going to get to the Sears Tower. I don't think I need to get closer. I think I get the picture. Right now we're headed over to where Miss O'Leary lived back when the Great Chicago Fire started, and she was accused of starting it with her cow. Chicago is so fucking funny because tell me why the Chicago Fire Department Public Education Office is the location where the Great Chicago Fire started, where allegedly Miss O'Leary's cow kicked a lamp over and started this fire. And literally right behind it is a Chick-fil-A. Where are the cows? Get the cows, Diva. Get them under control and get the lanterns away from them. Speaking of surviving alive, Fun fact is that even though 300 people died during the Great Chicago Fire, I'm not minimizing that. That same night, there were over 30 other wildfires throughout the Midwest, and the deadliest wildfire in world history took place in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, and like somewhere between like 1 and 3,000 people died, but they don't know how many because a lot of them were lumberjacks who were not registered and were living in the forest, and it created a firestorm that generated fire tornadoes and fire whirls that just fucking incinerated everything, including the records for a lot of towns. So no one's really sure how many died. I'm cheating a little bit. I had to get on a bike share because I'm gonna be late for the wedding and we still have one more stop. I do love a train station, so I had to stop by Chicago's Union Station. I do have that flavor of rain where I love trains. It's just my best friends know more about trains, so I let them talk about them on the internet. Not this. All right, everyone, we made it to the wedding on time. We saw what we needed to see. Also, it's a straight wedding. We did it.